city of Mirador.
A vast ancient city buried in the jungles of Guatemala. On the next World's Untold Stories, learn lost secrets of Mayan history.
You would never know what's under the jungle.
Discoveries never before recorded by news cameras, now revealed by CNN.
Oh my gosh.
This is a whole new chapter of the human experience that the world is unaware of.
World's Untold Stories, taking you beyond your experience, only on CNN.
This is a journalist's dream. We're going into the jungle of Guatemala, northern Guatemala, just south of the Mexican border, home to what's believed to be the largest pyramid in volume, what's described as the cradle of the Mayan civilization. It's called Mirador. And the thing is, almost no one's heard of it. We had no idea what we were getting into on that tarmac in Guatemala City.
You're now inside the city of Mirador. This is all part of the ancient city. I first came in here in 1978.
So I'm in a helicopter with Dr. Richard Hansen, who is the director of the Mirador Basin Project, and Jeff Morgan, who is the executive director, the founder, essentially, of the Global Heritage Fund.
This is a pyramid right here on our right side.
I've never seen anything.
These are all major pyramids all around us here. Yep. This is the tallest pyramid in the Americas and the largest in volume in the world.
Another aspect to this story of preservation is the fact that this jungle in Mirador Basin is virtually under attack. There are several threats. You have the loggers, you have narco-traffickers, you have looters, and you have the cattle ranchers. And so there are all these different variables that are encroaching upon the jungle.
But unfortunately, as you can see, they're starting to invade. This is the cutting that's taking place here. As soon as the road goes in. The road goes in, and it's a kiss of death. Thousands of people are working in this area as we speak, looting the temples and tombs to be able to pull out antiquities. And this is a huge trafficking problem as well. And those two things, the drugs and the trafficking, are converging to cause a total catastrophe in this area. This was all prime jungle 30 years ago. What hasn't been told in Mirador? One of the things that Mirador gives us is, number one, the largest ancient cities in the Western Hemisphere are found inside this contained ecosystem. It has the largest pyramids in the world, the rank among the largest pyramids in the world. The first freeway system in the world, in the whole world here. It's the cradle of Maya civilization. It would think that with all those advantages, it would be a piece of cake to save it, but it's a battle.
We landed. It took us a little while to unload all of our equipment, and then the helicopters, before we knew it, took off. And they just became smaller and smaller in the sky, and here we were in this vast jungle, potentially stuck. Had no idea what we were about to see.
They had these elaborate web of ancient causeways that linked all these cities together in a unique web of a federation. And it gave them the economic, political, and military capability to control vast populations. This is the largest, what we think is the largest ancient building in the world. It's the massive pyramid of Danta, and this is the first level. The Pyramid of Danta is a structure the world should know because It represents an investment of labor unprecedented in the world history. Keep in mind that in the New World, we didn't have beasts of burden like horses and oxen. We didn't have with the wheel, with carts and wagons that pull stuff along. Every single stone in that building, from the bottom to the top, was carried by human labor. Now, when you consider the investment of human labor, it's certainly one of the most remarkable constructions in the world.
Everyone's heard about the pyramids in Egypt. They're massive. They're 146 meters high. Think of La Danta. La Danta in Mirador is 70 meters high. It's not very tall, but it's massive. It's believed to be, and this is the caveat here, it's believed to be the largest pyramid in volume. We're talking 2.8 million cubic meters versus 2.6 million cubic meters in Egypt. The issue, this is still the big question, there's a platform. It's sort of divided in platforms, La Danta. So the question is the bottom half of the platform actually platform built by the Mayans, or is it hill? So archaeologists are still trying to discover if this is in fact the world's largest pyramid in volume or not. And Richard, this is the first time any crew has been here.
Because it's so recent. This has just been exposed relatively recently. We've had to expose this now for the first time, so you can see the art, the architecture, the pre-classic. So we're exposing this now, and we've got a little more to do, but what this lets us see are the ancient pre-classic stairs, and which were part of the original building, with masks and panels and all richly decorated. It's a saga of humanity that we've never known before. Imagine the labor.
It's really hard to wrap your head around how massive this structure is until you climb to the top. Oh my God. I feel like I'm on top of the world. Wow.
This is the summit of the Maya world.
We are on the top of the Mayan world. But all the hills that we see, they're not hills.
The pyramids.
I just can't get over the fact that you would never know what's under the jungle.
Now we're walking into one of the great parts of the city, which is called the Tigre Complex. It's all the buildings that surround the massive Tigre Pyramid, which is the second largest pyramid in the Maya world. We're on the south side of the plaza, which is a building called the Jaguar Pa Temple. And it's a beautiful building, about 80 yards long and 18 yards high. Jaguar Pa is special to me personally because when I was assigned to excavate on that building in 1979, they told me that Hanson, this building has to be a classic period building. As I came down on the floor of the building, this pre-classic pottery was still sitting in place on the floor. Pre-classic pottery, 1,000 years earlier than what it's supposed to be. And for a minute, it struck me, and I was the only guy in the world that knew this.
It's kind of like looking at the medieval castles and churches in Europe and everyone in the world thinking that they were built in the year 2000. And then one guy takes a look at them and says, no, they were built 1,000 years earlier than that.
We're right at the base of the original stairway here. This is the original stairway up the platform to the summit part of the building.
So we're not going up.
No, we got to go look at this. Get the channel. You're going to need helmets here. You know, I can fix broken legs, but I can't fix broken skulls.
Have you ever had a crew in here?
No, actually, what we're going to be seeing has never been filmed before. This is a wall here, and a chance to see some early art that.
Oh. I hope no one's claustrophobic. This is tight.
All right. Now come right over here, Brooke, and you can see some of this. Oh. This is the outer wall of an earlier building, okay? This is the outer wall.
This is the original building.
The sunlight was shining on this building.
Before all of
this rubble was built over it, that's right.
How do we know the rock won't fall on us?
It might, that's why we have to be careful. And then a little farther on.
Oh,
Whoa, that's why you have a helmet.
that's why I have my helmet.
You have to know which rock to take out, which one not to touch. And then what we're following here is the first level of this ancient building.
But you're risking your life.
Essentially, yeah, but look at the information it gives us. What we're looking at is the original art and the original color. The color is all preserved and protected. When you get up the ladder, we'll go to the left, and then you'll be able to see some of the art and the extraordinary iconography.
So how much rubble's over our heads?
Several thousand tons.
Oh, no big deal.
All right. Now, this is the outer surface of the pyramid. This is a large mask. You're looking at an incredible, this is a tooth panel, this is a mouth.
This is his teeth.
This is the upper teeth.
This is his nose.
Teeth. This is his nose.
You can tell.
And then right in the middle right here, we have a U-shaped glyph that's painted in here.
And you can read the glyphs.
Well, it's a symbol of authority.
Authority.
Symbol of royal authority, power. You know, we're the only ones in history that ever get to see this. It's a unique experience to be the first guy in history to see something that they buried. Something that nobody in the world has seen till we uncovered it. The last guy to even touch it like you just did were those people.
This is a real-life buried treasure.
It is. It's a chance to capture a moment in time, freeze a moment in time. But there's even another link that I'm going to show you just a little bit back here, a little bit farther, that makes us even a closer relationship to these people. And that is right here, near this corner. There was a man standing on these steps. And this was not here yet. And he was building this cell wall. And he took his right hand, this hand, he was standing back there, and he took his right hand and he grabbed a handful of mud and he packed the thumb in his hand and his fingers right there. And there's the human handprint.
Where?
Right here. His fingers and the palm of his hand right there.
That is amazing.
2,200 years old.
Sort of like this.
That's right. Careful not to put